Welcome to our backyard. Hi, it's Charlotte, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to our summertime backyard. I guess it's the 19th of June, so we're right in the middle of June. I have been gone for almost 2 weeks to work, and I left Tommy home to take care of the garden. And I am in shock. It exploded while I was gone. So I had to get out here. It is about 6 o'clock in the evening, so the light isn't great, but I just had to show you what I came home to. I was so proud, and I'm so proud that he did such a good job. He deserves so much credit. So, look at these boxes. Again, I apologize for the shadows and stuff, but look at these containers. I can't believe it. And this is not even their good side, if you can believe that. I really have gotten into making containers with multiple plants in them. And these I am so thrilled with. We have rock and blue suede shoes, blue salvia. We have got sort of hot pink Vista, Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. We have got a Superbina pink cashmere in there. We have got Truffula pink Gumfrina in there. We have got sweet potato vine, which you can see the chartreuse on this side. We've got some dark sweet potato vine on the other side. We've got some branching Suncredible branching sunflowers there. You can kind of see over in that one. There's the darker sweet potato vine in the front. I love it. But I came home and he had done such a great job. I cannot wait to tell you and show you. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the garden, our mimosa tree. Now, my mother is not a fan of mimosa trees, and that's okay. But I just always thought they were beautiful. They have really ferny leaves and these beautiful, I don't know how well you can see them, these beautiful pink flowers. And I had bought one and it had bloomed for the first time at our old farm before we moved. And I was so sad to leave it. And then when we moved here, there was a huge one here. And wow, this is the best it has ever bloomed and ever looked. But just take that thing in. Now, everybody will say they're messy. Well, you know what? There's a negative to every positive. Let's just absorb how beautiful it is and take in the good. The daylilies, I'm telling you, they are on fire right now. They are so incredible. But we're going to take all the things in. These down here, there's Wonder, but down here, these were my containers for the winter. They've got some purple heuchera. They have some carex, this chartreuse carex. They've got some variegated ivy in there. I think they're about ready to go into a little shadier spot, but they have really held on and done so well. I'm so proud of them. And you can see our bird houses. There gets to be a theme here. The birds. And I want everybody to kind of get something out of watching this video. And one of those things is put birdhouses into your gardens. I love birds. Tommy doesn't adore birds. Look at the gar at the top of that flower tower. So the birds that I get to have now are the wild birds. And we can't really feed them because it draws rodents. So what else could we do? We could have birdhouses, and we have birdhouses everywhere back here. Like, we have so many birdhouses. I think we added 19 this year, and we already had a lot. But I found out that birds chirping in the morning tell the plants to wake up and take in the nutrients and grow. It's time to wake up and grow. And boy, can you tell that the birds have made a difference here. So going down the steps, this is a flower tower my amazing friend Tammy across the street gave me this flower tower, and I planted it up with some Super Beania amethyst, sparkling amethyst, those lovey-dovey white and pink petunias. We've got some bubblegum, Super Petunia Vista bubblegum petunias, and some wave purple petunias. At the top, I put white Gara and pink Gara and some sun patience. The sun patience don't love it, but the Gara looks great. And look at how well everything else is doing. On the right, we've got our Thunderhead Pine, loving life. We have Autumn Joy Sedum, which I cannot rave over enough. I love some Autumn Joy Sedum. The sedum got so much that the guys that came to do the pool moved my pot of sedum, and they went to smash some other things. I just moved it off. I've got to find a place for that after this. But look over here. Look at this bed and look at those coneflowers. The Nephofia, look at these. Red hot pokers. I got these off of Facebook Marketplace. I went to these people's house and they loaded me up with a bunch of different plants, one of which was red hot pokers, the other of which was banana trees. That's one of the banana trees, the way it's grown. I mean, these people had some good plants. But red hot pokers, they are some tough somebodies, and they're just now really coming into bloom. But we'll start over here on this side because I have something so special to show you. Besides tinsel. There's little Tinsy. Good girl, Tinsy. Oh no. Well, they're not doing it as well today. I got some better pictures yesterday. Maybe we'll get some more later. But these spider lilies, yeah, they're just not looking their best. And we've got buds, loads of buds. Hopefully I'll have them in another video. But these things are so exotic. I ordered them online from somebody at Etsy. I ordered two. One I had in a pot or something, didn't make it. But this one I planted in the ground is healthy. Look at how the wisteria has come over the cattle panel arch. I know that doesn't look exciting. My lilac that blooms so well. But here, we're gonna come down here and see what we've got. So in the front here in this pot. Oh, I didn't show you. Well, I had it and I didn't get to show it in the last part of the yard. But right here we've got, isn't that beautiful? It's a calla lily, also that my neighbor Tammy gave me. Let us dig up. It's got some black-eyed Susans under it. I just dug a chunk out of her front flower bed because she needs to thin these things, and stuck it in that pot, and it's doing amazing. I've got one of my great little variegated sage. I love these things. We're adding them all over the place. I think it's called golden sage. They are really cute. And then some hardy geraniums I just added before I left. But look at this. Look at the coneflowers. Every one of these coneflowers in this bed, look at that. It's incredible. Every one of these coneflowers came from the Ingalls, which is sort of sad to say. But when we first had the beds put in, Dawn and Bill Sharon put our beds in for us, because this, talk about rock hard dirt, you could not. Tommy's dad brought his tiller here. His tiller was bouncing over the ground laughing at us. So we hired Dawn and Bill to come with and they put down mushroom compost, and they fixed the beds up so that I could plant in them. But they put a few key big plants in, but not all the little plants. Like, it looked barren, really barren. And so then we started to fill it in, because we had all these daylilies that needed a place to go. Really, our sidewalks were filled with daylilies needing to go in a flower bed. So I started putting the daylilies in, but Tommy went to the grocery store one evening to get food to fix for dinner, and he found these coneflowers and loved them. And he bought 5 little pots of them, quarts, at the grocery store. We planted them in this area, and they have spread, and they have been spread all over the garden. It's amazing. So I never knew about coneflowers before he got these, and holy moly, now we love them. So I think that's a Cheyenne Skies coneflower. So coming down the steps, I've got beds on, some plants on the right and the left. Oh, here's some of the flowers from our flower tower. Aren't they amazing? That thing is really cool. I'm so glad Tammy gave it to me. I'll start on this side. This becomes kind of a landing spot at the bottom of the steps next to the pergola. And I love it. So I've got some containers here. This first container has some, I think, a sun patient and some, oh, what are these? They're blue. Ah, I love these. I'll think of them later. It doesn't matter. I've got them in more spots. I'll think of them soon. But there's some more verbena. I've got some Asiatic lilies in pots that the nicest lady from Virginia that took a couple clinics with me gave me in this aqua pot that you can't even see. It's really beautiful. We have some cannas in the back that were supposed to be peach, and really they're more pink. Honestly, I like them better that they're pink, but they were supposed to be peach. But they are growing and blooming beautifully. We've got some truffle pink gomphrena in that same one. And look at that bee enjoying the gomphrena. I love the bees. A couple bees there. We've also got this kufia, which is a hummingbird plant. And we saw some hummingbirds earlier when we were enjoying the pool. And sweet potato vine, of course. Coming around the corner, that's Florence on the ground. Florence, yes, you're a good girl. In the back are 3 crepe myrtles that I got to plant in the garden last year, and I never did it. So I ended up, right before I left on my trip, I planted them in 3 large pots. I underplanted them with Supertunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid, that new Supertunia, and they exploded. They didn't look anything like that when I left. Down here in these 2 they are self-watering containers. Below it, there's more of the blue swayze salvia, some more pink cashmere superbena, and Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. But they are going to town. This elephant ear, isn't that cool? Look at how it's such an arrow. I was in Ocala, Florida this winter, and I was going to see my friend Alicia, and at the house where she was staying, they had Florence, no chewing the verbena. They had these giant elephant ears that were so cool, and I said, can I please get one of the little baby leaves to take home with me and see if I can grow it? And so she said yes. And this is what is growing. Isn't this awesome? It was like one little stick leaf that is now this nice big in the pot. Elephant ear, I'm tickled. So that's from there. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. So we're gonna come back around here to this side. And what have we got going over here? Well, right here is our famous Joe Pye weed that my sweet friend Sharon and I were out in Kentucky with Tommy and Kathy Serio, and we were driving around on the golf cart, and there were some abandoned plants. It was so sad. So Sharon and I rescued the abandoned plants, and that particular Joe Pye weed is in a platinum performance bucket that we found in the trash, and we made it into a pot by drilling some holes in it, and that Joe Pye weed is still in that same platinum performance bucket. It's hilarious, but it's getting ready to bloom. Behind it is this beautiful red canna. And I've never seen this one bloom, but look at the shading on those leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think that canna is stunning. I have gone to Georgia several times to help my friend Tyler Peabody with her horses. And when I go, I always get to stay with her mother. And her mother has this amazing mid-century house. And she grows these cannas outside. And I want you to see the shading. Forgive the bird poop. But look at the shading on these leaves. Isn't that stunning? So I potted it up. Like, look at the shading. That's incredible. She gave me a little stick of that, and I just potted it up this year. It's in a bigger pot. At the bottom, those two plants on the outside, to be honest, I don't know what they are, or on the outside of the middle one, are plants that we got when Tommy and I both judged the hunter trials for the Camden Hunt. In the middle, looks sort of bad from this angle, but that's okay, is a container with this tricolor sweet potato vine, and I think that's blue lavularia. I could be wrong about that. And some pink verbena. See, there's the verbena in the middle. And then some of these neat little pink and white zinnias. It's really cute. I just don't think we view it quite from the right way. Behind it that's actually going to be a yellow peony. I got to find somewhere for it to go. On the outside of those, looking kind of messy, I'm forgetting the name of that right now. But it's also called coxcomb, but those things are kind of crazy. They do look a little messy. And behind it, I've got a purple hardy hibiscus that's not blooming yet. But then this green hardy hibiscus that's got a little floofy flower on it. Isn't that cool? It's budded up to have more flowers, but we've got this one first flower. I'm so excited about that. All right, so now we're gonna and there are some of my Scott Reed windows. Everybody knows I love Scott Reed windows. We're gonna kind of take a little trip around the garden. Tommy got a new Roomba for the pool, as he calls it. And it's so much better. Holy moly. The pool is so much cleaner. So coming around, la 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 la. I guess we'll look at this right now. This is our old fire pit. And maybe I can walk around it in a circle, you can see it better. And I didn't want to throw it away. So I was like, I'm going to make it into a planter. So I'm going to put everything in here that doesn't need too much water. And stuff that we already had, those were the prerequisites. So it's got some pink yarrow, some yarrow at the top, achillea. We've got some autumn joy sedum, little pieces of that in there. We've got some purple verbena, trailing verbena. And look at those little super bells, aren't they cute? Got two kinds of super bells in here. They look a lot alike. They're different ones, but they look a lot alike. And it's done really well. The wind comes from this direction. It kind of lays it over. There's that. But all in all, that's made something better. So try to pan you around. Our boring pool house that is made into a really pretty pool house. I'm going to come around here. Look, isn't that gorgeous? Those super petunias, that hoopla vivid orchid is knocking it out right now. I had to get new spools this year for our tables, and I still have two that need to get painted, but that's all right. All right, so we're going to do some daylilies. Look at that double. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And then there's this little red one in there. I probably need to move it because it's too short for that spot. And that is Montana Moonbeam. That was on Bob and Betty. Ugh. That was on their sign. This is one I especially love. I guess you can't see the color that well yet. Can you see it there? It's like the most bright, beautiful creamsicle color. I love those. Then we're gonna go down here. See if I can get in there. Now, this is at the end of the day. So some daylilies will fade more than others. Look at the ruffly edges, isn't that pretty? And so you're seeing them kind of at their worst. And here are the layers of coneflowers. Can you believe it? With the bees all over them. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the coneflowers. So just know, this is not the time of day to view daylilies, but that's okay. You can view them anyway. These are called Perfectly Peachy, and they are like the color of peach ice cream, and the camera never picks it up quite right, but they're the color of peach ice cream. Like, it's so soft and gorgeous. Can never have too much Perfectly Peachy. Here's some others. Aren't they just beautiful? So that's sort of that area. Now we'll kind of roll around here. And I can't believe it. I thought I had dug that up. We've got some phlox, our hardy geraniums. They've got a few blooms on them, but they just went through a big blooming. I've got some cleome. And this is a real testament to, just being patient. I planted that elephant ear right there that came from my friend Lynn Hurst last year. And it just didn't do much. We didn't really see it. Well, I was going to put something else there a few weeks ago, and I came over and boom, the elephant ear has come up, and look at all the little babies. So that elephant ear is going to do great this year, and I'm not moving it. And there in that, right there, is this mirror that came from my dad's house in Florida. And I love the way it reflects things in the garden. So you can use some mirrors in your garden. It's a sea glass and driftwood heart. Isn't that pretty? And in front of it, this is a thing for this year. Look at these. This is a sugar shack tree. Supposed to be for the birds. I have been growing this thing for 3 or 4 years, and it has never had a bloom. Well, these little COVID-looking things are the blooms. Let me see if we can find one over here on this. There's one of the older blooms. Look at that. Isn't that funny? They're these little Sputniks. There's another one. There's a little younger one. If I can get it to focus. Focus. It's not mine to focus, really. But I'm so thrilled it's blooming this year. I need to give you a sight of my weeping Atlas cedar. I think that's what it is. This is an old tree that I got from S&K last year before. I was worried I couldn't keep it alive, but it is growing and it is gorgeous. What a Dr. Seuss tree. We're all about whimsy and crazy and not being normal. Be crazy, be yourself. And that tree is it. I love that tree. Down here below, I've got some rocks from Leoma Lovegrove's studio in Florida. Some serendipity alliums. And there is that verbena behind there that looks totally different than normal verbena, but it's really cool and airy. Hard to get on the camera. Oh, here's another one of these. Sugar Shack blooms. Isn't that cool? I'm excited about it. All right, we will continue our daylily tour to show you this pretty daylily. I'm trying to get it where you can actually see it, because it's not really so washed out as it looks on the camera. Well, that's okay. You'll just have to trust me. Behind here we have a lilac crush hardy hibiscus that is all budded up. I can't wait to show you that when it comes into bloom. And then here we have 4 o'clocks. Aren't these 4 o'clocks amazing? They started from just some little, and under them we've got Bliss and Wonder. But these 4 o'clocks are so cool. Do you see we've got some that are variegated. Can you see that? Variegated yellow and pink. Some solid pink. They're all different. And I think these are just from some seeds I tossed out. And I tossed them out a couple years ago. I think this is the 3rd year they're here. And I've tossed no more seeds out. Look at that one. That's pretty neat. Tossed no more seeds out, and they just keep coming back. And they change a little bit. It's really cool. There's another one of these calla lilies from the Tammys. And some of my most favorite daylilies. Of course, I've got lots of daylilies I love, but aren't these spectacular? Their color is so rich and popping. I just can't get enough of them. Aren't they really beautiful? Now, under that, you'll see these little guys. And we're trying some of these Gaillardia under this. They're my little window boxes. We've got sedum in there this year. But I am really kind of liking this Gaillardia. I got some last year at the end of the season, and they lived. And I chopped them apart and put pieces of them all around. And they really are cute and fun and growing. So in front of our pool house, which used to just be a boring gold shed, we painted it, and then I planted some stuff up. So here's another one of our red hot pokers. This is so neat. They look like fireworks because as the blooms grow and develop, they twist and twirl all over the place. So you never know where they're going to be pointing. There's another one of our boxes. A 4 o'clock plant fell over today. The dogs must have knocked it over. You know, we're living it with dogs. This is a garden that has conservatively, a lot of dogs in it every day. So we've got to live with dogs. Look at how these have turned really ruffly. And with that neat little center that has a little different color. And then these little friends right here, look at that coloring. And look at that coloring. And look at how those are all up in the ligustrum. Isn't that so cool? So sometimes some old grandma flowers can be really cool in your garden. Now sort of coming around this way, look at this. Look at that bunch of coneflowers. So some of these are pinks from Cheyenne Sky. But then I also went out and bought some wildberry, 3 or 4 years ago, and put in there so that they would all be pink. I wanted sort of this to be a monochromatic little area. And man, are they spectacular. They were all supposed to stay small. See this phlox? That was supposed to be the tallest thing besides, the trees and stuff. And these coneflowers have outgrown the phlox. There is a little bird bath in the middle of that. It's actually a big bird bath, but you can't tell it. I bought plants to be shorter than the bird bath. That's okay. I love that they're so happy. So we're gonna come around here. Storm cloud verbena, that's what that is. So here's some more of the storm cloud verbena, and I don't know that it's coming up quite right, but look at that. It's like deft blue pottery. It's like white and blue. Ooh, there's a solid white one. I've never seen it do that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Well, these storm cloud verbena, I planted in here last year as an annual. I didn't expect it to overwinter. But isn't that cool that it did? I love it. There are banana cream. It's a banana cream daisy. They're just getting started. And we did have some Midnight Masquerade penstemon behind them. They're done. We've got some cat's pajamas, Nepeta. That's about done too. But moving on around here, Shasta daisies. Some Daisy May daisies. They're about at the end. I deadheaded a few yesterday, but need to do some more. But those Shasta daisies, they look so good right there. And while we're sort of looking at other things, these are double doozy spirea all around there. And aren't they so pretty? I'm really tickled with those. We've got a coral bark Japanese maple, a little bitty one, a cultivar that must be a dwarf because it's a very mature tree and it's probably 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall maybe. I don't know. And that is really a pretty cool tree. Oh, and I didn't show you. There's another one of our birds. So this is a scarlet macaw that I got on Wayfair. Really looks like a macaw. It looks like a live bird. And it's hanging from a wire. Our lamb's ear are blooming this year. They look messy, but I'm tickled that they're blooming. Some Asiatic lilies there. And this arch right here is made out of a cattle panel. And it has honeysuckle and passion vine or passion flower on it. And that goes crazy. This right here next to it. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? It's a chase tree. We can't believe it. We put it in last year. Didn't really do much. It is blooming like crazy. Look at how the purple blossoms and there are bees all over it. So if you're into pollinators, this is a tree you can grow. Look at that color. It's an amazing color. Oh, I love it. It will remind you of, to me, it is sort of like a butterfly bush. People were saying it would be like a crepe myrtle. I think it's a lot like a butterfly bush. Underplanted with coreopsis, lemon coral sedum. There is my metal macaw. But going through our little tunnel here, you get to really see this whole beautiful coneflower thing. And wow, look at this. And I'm sure somebody will know why it's doing this. Look at that oriental lily. Isn't that unusual, those spots and splotches? Well, whenever I get oriental lilies or a pot of something, I will plant them afterwards in here. And this is one that's come up this year, which is pretty cool. And sort of scanning over here, I just want you to see this froggy. This little concrete frog my mom gave to me. It was in our garden, and I'm sorry, I had a bee on me. It was in our garden my whole life, and I asked my mom about it when I was there this winter, and she said I could have it and bring it home, so I'm so tickled to have it in the garden here. You know, we've got to have all these types of things. Sentimental things, new things, old things. It's like getting married. And here's one of my baby hydrangeas. I think it's a little lime punch. It's getting blooms on it. Behind it, I've got some of my cartwheels off of pony carts and my jog cart. And then a smoke bush, a wine craft purple smoke bush coming around here. There is a dwarf Alberta spruce that used to be living in a pot in its new home. This little tiny thing down here is a variegated dogwood. There was a butterfly bush there, but it stopped getting enough light and it just wasn't doing well. So I put that little variegated dogwood in. And then look, firelight hydrangea that I think we put in last year. Look at it. It's blooming and making a beautiful show. I'm excited. Well, I understand these firelights are going to give us a little better purple or pink at the end of the season. So I'm excited to see if it does that. That's exciting. There's a butterfly bush there that was too big for me to dig up. We'll try. Bobo hydrangea. We'll try to dig that up in the fall and move it. A coneflower that just put itself right here with a cute little bee on there. You're having fun, aren't you, Bumblebee? In here, I planted 3 Angelina? I'm not sure. They're gonna be, hopefully there'll be these great big tall purple plants that give you a lot of architectural interest. There in front of me, Jazz Hands Loropetalum. Behind it, the banana trees. We started out with a couple sticks. Now we've got that. Here's our chase tree on this side. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think it's gorgeous. And below it, some more yarrow, some more sedum. Coming around here, another pot that I have that has a face and a bunch of different types of sedum. Speck. Good girl, Specky. Specky. Speck. Speck might be deaf. Hi, baby doll. Tiny baby. Tiny baby. Diva. Let everybody get a moment. Tinsel. Good. So we're going to come on out. And don't drop out now because you're going to get to see the best part. So we'll go around here. Oh, yes. I've got to show you. Oleander. Isn't that pretty? We're going to try to find you some more daylilies. So we're getting back around here. Isn't that pretty? This is my rainbow daylily bed. Let's see if I can get back enough that you can see it. All along the back of the pool here, there's the pool, I wanted to do a rainbow daylily bed, and what that meant to me was we were going to do a white, light pink, dark pink, purple, red, orange, yellow. So we've got all these colors. It mostly worked. The colors didn't turn out the way I expected, but that's okay. I'm going to show you what we've got. Look at these light pinks. Aren't they so pretty? And I missed one. Here we go. Again, I love deadheading daylilies, for real. It's like so soothing to me. I'm gonna come to the next one. Let's see what you guys look like. They're pretty similar, just shorter. This next one. There we go. Behind this, you kind of see some dead foliage. What we've got is this bed goes through a couple different changes. Well, a few different changes. There, now you can see them. Good. In the spring, this is full of daffodils. So a bunch of this dead looking stuff here are daffodils that have aged out. Here, I'm gonna pluck you. Ooh, there we go. Then we have a huge iris display. This is our red section. Red. Then we have orange. The orange didn't do really great in the sun. I think it faded out quite a bit. Can you see that? Good. And then yellow. So then we have this huge iris show. Now we have daylilies. Wow, that's really pretty. I love the ribs in that. Now we have daylilies. The Loropetalum are always here. And then in the very back, not blooming yet, are some hardy hibiscus. Look at this. Oleander. Reminds me of summers in Hilton Head. Summer vacation in Hilton Head, where they have oleander in the road. Ah, here's another daylily. Look at how gorgeous they are. Anybody can grow these things. You need to grow them. Some beautiful purple jazz hansel or pedlum. Coming around here, we're going to see some more. Try to stay out of the light. Pugster, butterfly bushes. Getting started. But then look at this. Talk about fancy. This is hardy hibiscus. Look at that. These things are huge. Dinner plate size, ruffled edges. Look at the way that the pollen from the middle is shaking down on it. All those buds. Aren't these spectacular? You've got to just eat that up. We've got a bunch of those in. Then this is a Pugster blue. Budded up, but not much color yet. So going right here, look at the coneflowers. Aren't they fresh and gorgeous? I love them. I love them. Got some Carolina jasmine behind them. Swamp sunflowers. Our little sneaky fox, there's a concrete fox back there, poking his nose out. So we're gonna come around here. Now, isn't this so cool? I'm gonna try to get, these are crocosmia. Now, there's a red crocosmia called Lucifer that's much more popular, much more easily recognized. This is a little orange one. I want you to see these twisties. Aren't those neat? You get those twisties after they've bloomed. But these speckled orange flowers are neat, and they are tall. They are taller than I am. Cool. So now we're going to get you some more daylilies. Got to do the daylilies. I love these. Look at those colors. And this, here's another one of my favorites. Tommy loves this too. We added some darker, richer colors a couple years ago because he really likes the darker, richer colors. Look at that wine color. And look at that one. Aren't they beautiful? So we're gonna come up the path. See somebody that needs some water. And I think this is a Miss Molly butterfly bush. It's got really pretty dark purple blooms on it. Another Miss Molly. Our El Nino Chitalpa desert orchid. Doesn't have any blooms on it right now. Whoa, look at this. Look at this butterfly bush. Aren't those spectacular? I think this is a pink cascade, but I could be wrong. But I wanted to share it. Isn't that beautiful? It's covered in these enormous blooms. Like, look at that bloom compared to my hand. It's longer than my whole hand. I love it. Then down here low, we've got some bee balm. Bee balm coming along. Oh, wow. These coneflowers are such a neat color. I wonder if you can see that. They're just like really cool colors. Some more crocosmia. And here we get to get a look at, whoa, caught my head on the wire, on some other, we'll go sideways for a second. Look at that agapanthus. Got it in a hot spot, in a pot. It's doing great. And this is one of my containers that have got a bunch of different things in them, but you can really see the truffle of pink gomphrena right there. But look at that over there. Those are my favorite pots of the season. Aren't they beautiful? Containers. And then I put these containers together over here. They've got a black and blue salvia, some angelonia, some purple gomphrena, and some jazzberry. They're pretty neat. So I'm gonna whip it around here. We're gonna get back to our daylilies. So here are some. I didn't get them all picked off yet. Look at all these things. Walk down the path. See if I can get this guy. Can we see your face? Oh, you're beautiful. Can we see your face? I guess this light is giving us a hard time. And all these. Tommy loves these little simple orangey red ones. Go down here. It's hard. I've got to find their faces for you. Look at that little face. And look at that little face. Aren't they awesome? And look at that little face. And look at those two little faces. So let's keep going. This is just so cool. And look at that little face. And look at these little faces. And look at those little faces. So I'm just gonna keep showing you. I didn't get all these deadheaded yet. So maybe while you look at that, I'm gonna deadhead a few so that you don't have to look at our old ones. Boop, 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 boop. And I don't know that this really makes that much difference if you do all this deadheading. I just love it though. Look at that, that's a moonbeam, I think. Look at that little person, that little person. Here we're getting to some more. Wow, I'm gonna deadhead here. But look how thick that is. They're just thick with blooms. Deadhead, 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 deadhead. But the daylilies are spectacular. And look up above us. How pretty is that? Can you see their little fluffy hair? And then back down here for the bee balm. And look at my hot pots on the wall. These pots were already here. And I've tried several different things. Well, now I've got autumn joy sedum. And on either side is just some other small sedum, whether it's a red or, whatever that is. Got some lemon coral, but those really look nice and they do well with that heat. Okay, kind of the last stuff I wanted to really show you, Wonder's gonna really show you, is these pots right here. Look at them. Look at all that beautiful flowers. Look at that. You don't need to look at our fan, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. So, I hope that this inspires you. Just because you have pets or kids, you can grow stuff. You can grow it. And if you have to leave town, your husband can handle it. He did so great. I so appreciate it. And thank you so much to Freddie, who mows the grass and keeps things on point. Look at that. We had a friend, the dogs are jumping on you, who gave me that little yellow saucer this year. There's the agapanthus. So I hope that your summer is going well, that you get to, enjoy color like this in your life. Hope you don't take everything too serious and too hard. Do your best, show up. I've got to give him a little fertilizer here in a second. But wow. I mean, how blessed are we to get to, you know, everyone that has a garden is just so blessed to get to see their own flowers, the bees, the nature in their backyard. It's just overwhelming. So I love you. Get outside, plant a flower, make something good. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your life. And I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.